please. Someone flicks me a bad body. So, it's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
Good evening. Welcome to iBoxingHub. I go by the name of Biyenge, featuring your Truly Tre. What's good?
Yo, big up to you, cuz. Big up to the whole of the community that's tuned in right now as well. And we just thank you for your support, because these shows that we do on a regular basis, we do this for the people, for the fans, by the fans. But before we get started into the show, we need to get a word from our sponsors, especially after that. Yo, yes, people. So that's D-Rock in association with iBoxingHub. So people, take advantage of the discount code, which is iBoxingHub24, and you get 40% off everything. So if you like what I'm wearing, if you like what my cousin was wearing during the shadow boxing, head over to the description and utilize that discount code. Cuz before we obviously get started, big up to Mr. Neutral, Jim Watt of New Boxing Media. He's obviously saying, good evening, fellas. Salute to all at iBoxingHub, bro. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And big up to also our brother Rico. He obviously headed over to the event over the weekend, which was obviously a Queensberry card, collision on the course. And he actually caught up with Tunde Ajayi. So I've actually got a small clip from that interaction with Tunde.
So Chris Eubank Jr., I cannot say it more clearer than that. Please, brother, get your dad in the corner, pick up the phone, amend it, because you've only got one father. And I've had the same experience, not necessarily with my father, but with my mother. And that's my mum. My mum gave birth to me. Any beef has to be squashed. It's your father, it's your roots, you know, and go back and make up with your father, and let's get a cracking fight.
You heard it from Tunde Ajayi. Big up to Tunde Ajayi. You know, he's the trainer of Anthony Yard and a number of other fighters as well. And he's also the host of The Fight Is Right, man. So big up to Tunde. Big up to Rico. You heard what he said. Look, just to balance the corners, you've got Ben Shalom, you've got versus Eddie Hearn, you got, you know, Ben, Nigel in his corner, and you got Junior. The only missing piece to the puzzle is, you know, having Senior in that corner, cuz, man. But I know we've spoken about it, but I just wanted to, you know, give a special shout out to Rico for his tremendous work, and Mr. Neutral is also saying the same. But cuz this is 185, we're obviously gonna review the card, and yeah, cuz let's get down to business. It was a tremendous event. I just want to hear your thoughts, man, and big up to you and everyone that's tuned in.
Yeah, no, the event was really good. If I'm honest with you, I tuned in on the main event. I didn't really watch the majority of the undercard because my main focus was I was drawn more into the main event. But the main event was an interesting event. Are you still there, or are you frozen? Are you still there? Yeah,
I'm still
it's weird just to think. Before I dive in deep. You got to big up, you know, Roach Jr. Again, you know, nobody really knew who he was. Obviously, the boxing fans knew who he was, but the casual fans didn't really know who he was. And, you know, he said from the get-go, like, you know, don't sleep on him. Do you know what I mean? You know, we're too fast to judge him, because at the end of the day, Tank, he's a superstar. So because Tank being a superstar, we automatically think that, yeah, no one ain't got nothing on him. Do you know what I mean? Like, he'll beat anybody, etc. in that division. And yesterday, well, the outcome was different. I mean, the fight itself, I must say it was a skillful contest. Like both of them have got skills. On that fight, I felt that I saw Tank fighting more on the back foot. I've never really seen Tank fight on the back foot as much, if I'm honest. It seemed that he was getting bullied just a little bit. He started the rounds a bit slow. However, I must say his punches are powerful. So even though Roach landed more than Tank, but Tank's punches were more effective. Now I'm not too sure which round it was. I think was it round 8 or round 7? I'm not too sure where Tank took the knee. Now some are arguing saying, well, it should have been classed as a knockdown because when you take a knee, it's a knockdown, right? The ref, who's a professional ref, who's been refereeing for years, should know this. But then on the other hand, it's just like it was more of a slow reaction because it was after a jab he took. Now, I don't know how true it is. He said apparently he got his hair done 2 days ago and there were grease on his eyes. He could be telling the truth. Do you know what I mean? But then at the same time, it's a thing where I think deep down he knew he was lucky to get a draw because that would have been, yesterday should have been his first L.
Oh, no, fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Big up to FK Breeze as well, amateur boxer. Make sure people are tuned in to what he's doing on his end. He's saying round 9 is confirming. Thank you so much, FK Breeze, for just tuning in. And cuz I think Mr. Neutral actually said it the best in terms of it being a bad day in the office, or is it a changed Tank? I definitely feel that this fight, we have to give Lamont Roach a lot of respect for this fight because he's really shown people that he can be in the mix. Do you know what I mean? He's really shown people that he can be in the mix, and look, we can potentially have a rematch on our cards as well. And you can say that Tank kind of had the decision on his way by getting the draw. A lot of people argue that he did, pick up in the later rounds, but then Roach done his part in the beginning. He did exactly the game plan that many fighters should do against Tank, which is, look, I'm a big fan of Tank, but I know that he starts slow, and Lamont Roach was on his face as well, and he just thought, look, I'm going to take it to this guy. And like you said, cuz he was fighting in the back foot as well, man. So there was a lot of after shots, throwing faces, but then there was a lot of these kind of shots as well, like 50-50s. But in the end, it's respect between two fighters, man. And just the narrative out there of saying Tank had a stinker, please don't be saying stuff like he's had a stinker. We need to give respect to Lamont Roach, man, because he's a champion, also moving up a weight class, and he showed his class, man. And even Shakur Stevenson is coming out and saying, look, if you can't get the rematch, look, you can fight against me. So, yeah, just wanted to just get your thoughts on that as well.
Do you know one thing I did notice? His corner. I'm confused with Tank's corner because there was a lot going on there. So you had his head coach, and then you had somebody else got his name.
Barry Hunter.
Yeah. Who ain't I forgot his name now. His head coach. What's his name again?
Calvin Ford, yeah.
Yeah, so what was going on there? Like, I thought that, I don't know, I just think that something was missing. Well, no, not missing, something wasn't right. And at the same time, yes, I think it was a bad day in the office. And at the same time, it just seemed like it wasn't the Tank that we usually get, if that makes sense. I mean, don't get me wrong, no excuse. What's happened has happened, but I just felt like the corner, there was too many voices. Too many voices.
Yeah,
at one point, he was arguing with Calvin, so I just want to know, like, Tank, where's his head at? I mean, he wants a rematch. You know what? I'm going to be biased, but being a Tank fan, I believe the rematch, the outcome will be different, and I think he'll win this rematch because obviously now he's been in the ring, now he knows what to expect. But, yeah, I just wasn't happy with his corner.
Yeah, obviously FK Breeze. And wait, big up to Lucy's Fats as well. We always need to give her a shout out because she's tuning in from across the pond. She's saying that was a knockdown, punch, grease, doesn't matter. He went down, so that's a knockdown, which is fair. Look, and Mr. Neutral's confirming as well. FK Breeze is also confirming that Roach wants to fight Shakur and he's happy to accept it. So that is a fight that I would like to see, I can't even lie to you. And the reason why I would love to see it is because Lamont Roach has shown the world that he's not a pushover. He's not someone to mess with. The fact that he's been able to get into a fight with Tank, gain his respect at the end, because you saw you don't really gain Tank's respect if you've not done something good, man. So in a fight that potentially he could have even won that fight, man, if it wasn't for maybe this decision. If this was called a knockdown, then maybe we'll be talking about a new champion. But as it stands right now, you know, Tank still holds the title, and we have to see what the next steps are. You already know what I want as the next steps. I want this fight to happen, and I'm sure a lot of the people that's obviously tuned in right now would love to see that, because that's a fight I want to see. So yeah, let's see what happens, man. But right now, he's champion.
But there was a point, I can't remember which round it was. Roach took a knee as well. He went down, but the ref didn't count that as a knockdown. So I don't know. It's with the fight we just saw. It was a very close fight. But then again, if the ref had counted Tank, he could have probably changed the gear. Do you know what I mean? So it's just one of them. Sometimes a part of me, I feel that maybe a draw overall was the good decision, because they can then run it back.
No, definitely. Big up to you, cuz, definitely. And big up to Eric as well, that's tuned in. Eric's obviously saying, nah, Tank pushed him down. So I'm guessing he's saying he pushed him down, which is fair. And FK Breeze is actually answering one of your questions before. I don't think Calvin was around Tank's camp due to personal problems. So maybe he had, personal problems and he wasn't around. So he had to let Barry Hunter sort of take the lead, and he took the step back, man. So,
right.
And
do you think, just by saying it, do you think that probably had an impact on Tank's performance?
What I think, me personally, cuz, I think under any circumstances that shouldn't be an issue, especially if you're an elite fighter fighting at that level. I just generally think that Tank, I actually gave this example to a few of my boys, man. It's like secondary school. You had a fight with someone and you beat that person up so bad that you thought, we'll fight again a few years later, and you think, he's going to come with that same energy. But what you don't realize is probably from that loss, Roach has been, really studying, Tank, and he's been waiting for this moment for a long time. And then Tank's come in complacent, thinking, I'm just going to do what I do to everyone else. And when he realized, when it was after round 7, 8, 9, where I can't stop him, you saw what happened, man. He had to box, man. So I think he underestimated Roach, and the next time coming around, I think he would, prepare, man. So he kind of got away with it. But then at the same time, it's good to see, man. And big up to Boxing After Dark, man. We've not seen you in a minute, my brother. So God bless you. Thank you so much for tuning in. The fight, I'm never going to lie to you, man. I probably scored it. I would say Lamont nicked the round, man. I reckon he nicked it to win the fight by one round, man, because of that knockdown. And that's just me. I'm a Tank, man.
That knockdown.
I'm keeping it 100, man. If that knockdown did exist, surely you should give Roach the fight, man.
What if that knockdown? Okay, obviously I know they didn't. Well, obviously they didn't count it, but if he hadn't taken the knee, do you think that the outcome would have still been the same, a draw or a loss?
Draw, more leaning towards Tank to get the victory, because he did step it up to a certain point, like after round 6, 7, kind of stepped up. Then there was that situation, and then after that situation, it's like he was rejuvenated, and then he started putting on the power punches, and we started seeing what Tank does, which is being aggressive. But what he didn't realize is that, I think Calvin Ford said it, and a few fighters said it as well, that Lamont Roach is, look, he's a fighter, man. He was there to fight. He took the shots as well. He was aggressive. He wasn't fearful of the shots as well. He was ready to come inside. He took center circle in the ring. So it just showed that, he was fearless, man. So credit to Roach, the Reaper. He lived up to his title. And look, if he don't get the rematch versus Tank, I wouldn't mind, seeing him against Shakur Stevenson, man, because I think that would be an excellent fight, man, in my opinion. Should we not see Lamont Roach versus Tank next, number 2?
I think we will definitely get the rematch. So I think they said Tank wants the rematch. Again, it comes down to, his team as well, I suppose. But
he said he didn't want it next. I can't even lie to you. He said he didn't want it next.
Yeah, see, that's what I find annoying, because why would he not want it next? Do you know what I mean? Because having it next, this rematch, it will be huge. It'll draw more attraction. I don't know. Like I said, from the beginning of this fight, the build-up, the press conference, when he was talking about this is his last year of fighting, it's just like the motivation seems like it's not really there no more. The hunger ain't there no more. Something's just not there no more. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, watching the fight and him arguing with his coach in the corner, it's just, I don't know. I saw a different type of Tank, and it's just like when he got a draw, you can just tell by his body language. It's like he was lucky to get that draw. Do you know what I mean? Very lucky. Yeah. So now it's just because what my understanding was apparently if he had won this fight, his next opponent would have been Jake Paul. And I don't know how true that is. That's what Jake Paul's saying. So maybe the focus was mainly more on Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? Because that's a big money fight. Tank fighting potential, I don't know, heavyweight, cruiserweight / heavyweight. Do you know what I mean? Do serious numbers, working with Netflix or whatever. But unfortunately, look, all right, if Tank doesn't fight Roach next, then who is he gonna fight next? There's no point in fighting I don't know, somebody ranked number 20. It just doesn't make sense. So if it's not Roach next, then it has to be Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, or you got Gary Antoine Russell Jr., who obviously became champion at 140, so he could move up him as well. So there is options for Tank. It's just going back to your Jake Paul thought. To be honest, we're now at a stage now where fighters really want to take advantage of these crossover fights, because now, even though you would class Jake Paul as a professional fighter, it's still kind of like an exhibition kind of fighting him. So I do maybe see that happening, maybe when it's his last kind of fight kind of thing, big paydays. So I can see that happening. But as in the next fight, I wouldn't want to see that work round next, man. And look, FK Breeze is wondering how would that work, because, Jake Paul's that cruiserweight. Then you got, Tank, he's just about, I would say 130, 140. How would that work? Are they is Jake Paul gonna come down? Are they gonna meet each other halfway? It's gonna be
no. Jake Paul would have to come down, but it's just unfortunately the love for the sport, for some of the professional boxers who are up there, the love of the sport is gone. It's all about money. It's all about the money. Like I said, look, for example, Ngannou wants to fight Wilder. I'm not being disrespectful, but Ngannou, he's fought twice in professional boxing and lost twice. So it's just like, what him fighting Wilder is just, it's not even bragging rights, it's just money. Do you know what I mean? And then I think that it's unfair for those who actually train and work hard and want to be at that level. Do you know what I mean? So I think sometimes, I know these crossovers, it's fun and that, but come on, let's talk about boxing, purely boxing, the art of boxing, like I said, look, Tank, again, he's got options, to unify the division. Do you know what I mean? So I suppose if he could unify the division, then maybe him and Roach can run it back. But it'd be interesting. Let's just say if Tank fights and wins another world title, and then Roach beats Shakur and he becomes a WBC champion, and then he fights Tank for, then the belt's on that. So financially it makes sense. But for the time being, I just think with rematch, just run it back. Well, what are you waiting for? You're
100% right, cuz, man. But the thing is, when it comes down to business, I know based on what he did yesterday, apparently it was the second highest gross for that venue.
Barkley,
I think number one was Rolling Stones in 2012. So the fact that Tank is there, and Tank's events normally in the kind of top 5 as well, because I believe another one is there. I think with Rolly Romero, man. So for Brooklyn, that's a great feat. It just depends what his next fight is. If his next fight is a Shakur, I can't complain, man. If he's not gonna take a rematch with Lamont, man.
But that's a big if though, cause that's a big if, you know, because look, his team, like I said, a draw, he's lucky to get a draw. So it's up to him now thinking, oh, do you know what? I can fight and unify the division. Or I could run it back and correct the wrong. Do you know what I mean? So the ball is on his court, but I just don't understand because he's saying that he's got 4 more fights left, right? And with the 4 fights, run it back with Roach. It just makes sense.
Yeah, man, it makes sense, man. Obviously, there's big respect between both of them, and also we have to give Tank also some credit, man, for giving someone like Lamont Roach this opportunity, you know. And we saw, you know, that this is gonna open many doors for Roach now, and you know, now the casuals that probably didn't know about Lamont Roach are like, whoa, this guy nearly beat Tank. So now his stock's gone up, and if a Shakur Stevenson now is calling for him, then his stock's going to go up even more, and he's going to move from one title shot over to another title shot as well, man. So look at the blessings, man, because I remember he waited a long time to get that shot. He finally got that shot, and look, he's got someone like Shakur Stevenson obviously calling him out as well, which is interesting. You know, you've got Lomachenko, who's also the IBF champion as well, and you've got Keyshawn Davis as well, who's holding one of the other titles as well, man. So, cuz this is a packed out division, and we've got a new player in the division, and he's called the Reaper. So all the narratives about Tank had the stinker, yes, he had a bad day in the office, but we also have to give credit to a fighter that moved up in weight, and he's pushed Tank, you know, all the way to the edge, man. So look, we could have been talking about him being a champion now. So boxing's that kind of sport right now, man. So let's see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
You know what? Well, when will we find out? Because I just want them to run it back. It just makes perfect sense for them to run it back straight away. Because the worst thing is, let's just say, I don't know, okay, let's say if Tank takes an L in his next fight, then what? I suppose a rematch won't really be that big because already somebody's taken his L. Do you know what I mean? So
no, it's true. And FK Breeze is obviously saying Turkey could maybe put Shakur versus Roach. We heard, you know, Turkey had a lot to say yesterday in regards to the production. He had his little dig on X Online, man. So he would definitely be interested in, you know, sending an offer to Lamont Roach's team, and I'm sure he's not gonna say no to a bag from Turkey. So it should be interesting.
Do you know what? Yeah, that could be the next fight. Shakur Stevenson and Roach. That could be the next fight. Yeah. But when would it take place? Would that be in summertime, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I would say run that as soon as you can, because both guys have had fights recently, so it would make sense. Obviously, ideally, because we would love to see the number 2 between Roach and Tank, man. But we don't know where Tank's mind's at in terms of taking that. So if that doesn't happen, like what Shakur's saying here, if you can't get a rematch, I've got a big fight for him. World title shot against me. That's my bro. So we can definitely make that happen. So look,
I respect that. Yeah,
I respect it as well, man.
Also, on that undercard, they need to run back Baby Miller and Andrew Ruiz.
Oh, Baby Miller and Andrew Ruiz. What you saying?
Run it back, because I think Baby Miller won that fight, but Andrew Ruiz said he had a hand injury, so let's run it back. Last time they fought was what, August last year, so run it back.
Yeah, no, for sure. Obviously, big up to El Rico here. He's obviously saying, hi, my brothers. Big up to you. Tremendous work yesterday. We obviously mentioned before we started the show, before we got into the show properly, that you done some great work catching up with Tunde. He's saying we didn't get a backflip from Tank, yeah, because he didn't win the fight, because it was a difficult fight, and yeah, he had to do it. But this is boxing. When you fight the best, this is the outcome. You could win, you could lose. This is what we want to see. We wanted to see Tank fight someone that could push him to the edge, and look, you got that opponent in Lamont Roach. Was it a bad day in the office? Yes, but still, we got to give Lamont Roach all the credit, man. And look, even Rico's saying big up to Roach, man. Definitely, I agree with you as well. And Andy Ruiz needs to go out boxing, man. So Rico is tired of Andy Ruiz, cuz.
Also, Martin McCauley.
Yes,
So
cuz. What you said?
yeah, May. He was supposed to be fighting for the IBF Eliminator. He's no longer fighting for that no more because he
What?
lost to Parker, so he doesn't get that
No.
opportunity. Yeah,
No. Surely not, cuz. Surely not.
no, I've seen it. I mean, look, I'm sure I saw it on social media.
I'm sure Turkey, but part of the deal of taking this
No,
fight
he's
last
fighting in
minute
May.
was
He's fighting in May, but the simple fact that's like, look, obviously, look, he lost the fight, isn't it? So him losing that, apparently he's lost his position. That's what I've been told. He's lost his position. Yeah. So he's fighting in May.
But yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, no, FK Breeze is obviously just confirming, yes, it's true, man. Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. He's not in the Mando no more. Like, what?
No.
What is this? Like, what?
Well, look, the way I see it, he took a risk. It flopped. He got paid, but
mad.
he's still got the WBO. I don't know. I'm not too sure. He ranks number 5. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, that's
WBO. What else? I don't know where he's at. WBC or WBA.
IBF Company Games, cuz, man. That's what everyone's saying. Big up to everyone for just confirming that as well. That's absolutely crazy. For me, I thought, in my personal opinion, when he took this fight, I thought, he had the security of knowing that, win, lose, or draw, I'm coming in to kind of save the show, but I'm still going to maintain that position in May to have that mandatory fight, man. So, yes, look, they'll make him and FA second mandatory. Okay. So I'm probably not going to fight in the same card as Haney Garcia. So that's why I think they put Tio instead. But that's a maybe, man. Now, FK Breeze, thank you so much for the spill. Ray Ford will be whole feature on the Boots card as well. So El Rico giving us some news as well. Big up to El Rico. Yeah, cuz it's looking crazy, man. So that's mad. That's now kind of changed the perspective of things now, man, because I initially thought when he took this fight, it was more on the basis of he's saving the show, he's giving Parker, he's still getting paid, them two having that fight. But risk versus reward. Look at what he's been able to gain from that 6 minutes or whatever. Like, it's been a. Could you say no to that? Cuz I don't think so, man. So if it is,
it depends on. Like I said, with boxing, it's a poor man's sport, and when I say I don't mean in a disrespectful way. It's just like you go into boxing because you want to make money or you want to retire with serious money. But at the same time, my question is, do you want to become a world champion? Is it about the legacy or is it about the money? Some say it's a bit of both. Some people just say, look, it's all about the money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
that is absolutely crazy. And big up to
like I even said like, look, him fighting Parker last minute. I believe I could be wrong, but I believe that was his biggest purse.
Yeah, it was. Of course, man.
And when I believe later down the line, if he proves himself, he could probably get an opportunity for a world title. But now, I think we're gonna have to take off the boogeyman title off him because yes, it was last minute, but obviously it was his decision. But now let's just see how he'll perform in his next fight in May. Should he knock out his opponent within 5 rounds, then give it to him. If it goes to distance, then it's one of them ones.
Yeah, like you said, man, boxing is a poor person's sport is tough, it's hard, you know, especially getting those endorsements, those opportunities. So when you do get that call from His Excellency about, you know, can you save the show, my friend? He saved the show, man. And big up to Billy Nelson as well, because Billy Nelson actually took him away from the situation by throwing in the towel, because he would have probably continued to wanting to fight. So,
and do you know what
rescued him.
The maddest thing is, yeah, Billy, because I think Dylan White has had a few digs, and Billy Nelson saying he would never give Dylan White an opportunity to fight, but Cole, he would never want Dylan to be paid. It's like, whoa, that fight would be a perfect fight. If I'm honest, that them two fighting would be electrifying. So, yeah. Let's see it. Let's see. Let's see if Dylan gets past Joe Joyce. Yeah,
that's big news, man. Obviously, big up to everyone in the chat, just showing absolute love, man. Look, I got to read some of the comments, cuz, man. It's such a blessing. So obviously, Rico saying, "You guys are the best, man. Love my brothers. Appreciate everything you do." Episode 185, blessed. No, big up to you, my brother. And Tunde wants Eubank Junior and Senior together for Ben. Yes, Rico, man. Big up to you. And Rico's confirming that he has official confirmation from someone in Eubank Junior's camp that they've seen Rico's interview. So big up to you, Rico, on the greatest work. And big up to Boxing After Dark. He's saying they're the realest guys out there right now. No, big up, man. Thank you so much, Boxing After Dark, for just tuning in, as always, and for your support, man. It is great. And Crocker lost that fight last night, so he's obviously talking about the situation. Ooh, Crocker versus Donovan. What are you saying, cuz? Did you get to see the fight?
Nah.
I know, this is Rico's Crocker. For Tank, it was Tank.
Yeah. I woke up for the main event. I woke up literally at 3:30. Yeah, just for the main event. I've been up since 3:30.
Yeah, so. Definitely, man. And look, Rico's kind of just giving us an update. He's saying Donovan will knock him out next time, but he's pretty much saying that Crocker lost that fight last night, man. So now, Rico, thank you so much for, you know, just getting involved in the chat as well. And people, make sure that you're tuned in to what we're doing on the channel, because straight after this, if you haven't been on the channel, there's 3 interviews from Rico. So he's got to catch up with Adam Smith. He also got to catch up with Ezra Taylor, the Cannon, live at the event. And he's also got to catch up with Tunde Ajayi as well, man. So that's great news that the interview has been seen by Junior, and I'm hoping that we could get to see, you know, Senior in Junior's corner. So people, once again, let me obviously just play the clip for those that have just missed it. But yeah, just make sure you head over to the channel straight after this so you can get to see the interview with Tunde Ajayi.
So Chris Eubank Jr., I cannot say it more clearer than that. Please, brother, get your dad in the corner, pick up the phone, amend it, because you've only got one father. And I've had the same experience, not necessarily with my father, but with my mother. And that's my mum. My mum gave birth to me. Any beef has to be squashed. It's your father, it's your roots, you know. And go back and make up with your father, and let's get a cracking fight.
Cuz that is true words of wisdom from a man with a lot of wisdom, man. Because look, he's speaking facts, putting boxing to the side. Any situation with family and stuff like that, you gotta put that shit to the side, man. Because especially when it comes to parents, man. So people, just listen, and I'm hoping that, you know, that message travels, you know, to everyone, man. So, big up to you, man. And no, Rico, big up to you, honestly, man. So it's been great. 5-minute break and 1 point deduction sorts out the situation, man. Yeah, look, everyone is just going crazy, man. So, yeah, cuz before we obviously wrap up the show, is there any little niggles or something that you saw online that you thought, you know what, we got to discuss this on the end of week roundup, man? Like, just let the people know what you're saying.
Nothing really. I just want to know where Fury's at. I want to know if this is it, or if he's got one more in him. That's what I want to know. I'm just intrigued to know like what what's next? Who's AJ gonna fight? Is it gonna be Cabell? Is it gonna be Parker? I understand Triple D wants Usyk next. So no, Usyk wants to fight Triple D next. He's got 2 more fights in him, and yeah, I just want to know like what's happening. You know, I want to know what's happening. Wilder was supposed to be fighting in April. I ain't heard nothing. You know,
Heard nothing,
Wilder, do you know what I mean? So I just want to know what's going on really in the heavyweight division, because at the moment it's just everyone's just quiet. Yeah. So other than that, yeah, it's what they're all rich anyway, so I don't care. But yeah.
They're all rich. It sums it up, man. They're all rich, living it up, doing what they love, man. But it's obviously a pleasure to have this community, so we can come on, talk boxing. Everyone gets involved in a discussion as well. And remember, people, this channel is by fans for fans. So any opinion, anything you want to talk about, any subjects, send us a message. Any collaborations, send us a message on the socials, and we'll make sure, you know, we'll try to deliver the best we can, man. But once again, cuz, God bless you. It's always a pleasure doing these shows with you on Sundays. Like it's part of the routine every week, man. So it's beautiful, man. So yeah, now big up to you, and big up to FK Breeze, big up to Rico, big up to Boxing After Dark. So people, head over to Boxing After Dark's channel as well. It's truly tremendous. The content is unreal. I've obviously said to Boxing After Dark a few times, I like some of the old ones, man, because he's got a special theme, man. He knows exactly what I'm talking about, man. But big up to Boxing After Dark. Big up to Lucy all the way from the States as well. Big up to Neutral. Big up to everyone that's tuned in. We love you and we appreciate you. Cuz, before we obviously wrap up the show, let's hear from our sponsors once again. D-Rock Club. Yes, people. So that's D-Rock in association with iBoxingHub. So guys, just take advantage of the discount code, which is iBoxingHub24, and you get 40% off everything. So if you like my tracky top, if you like what my cousin was wearing during the shadow boxing, please head over to the description. D-Rock, have a browse through, use that discount code, man. So cuz, bigger and better in these next few months, of course. We're gonna, you know, absolutely smash it. And yes, no, thank you so much, Boxing After Dark. Have a tremendous night. And cuz, this is the point where I'm gonna hand it over to yourself. But cuz, God bless you. Appreciate you, man.
God bless you all, man. Thank you for tuning in. Keep supporting, and look, listen, it's a new week tomorrow, so have a lovely, productive week, and we shall see you on Wednesday. Peace and love. Mwah.
It's another bang. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. Light up my scars with a sweet one, please. Someone flips me a bag, but